प्रसार भारती अभिलेखागार की प्रस्तुति सदाबहार सुनहरे दौर का अनमोल खजाना।
Now let's take it with some feeling. Okay, women, you're the one who starts. 1, 2, 3, 4. The chorus, final solutions. Come on.
The procession has passed through these lanes every year for 40 years.
How dare they? For 40 years our chariot has moved through their mohallas.
Why did they?
Why did they today?
How dare they?
They broke our rut, they broke our chariot and felled our God. This is our land. How dare they?
It is in their blood. It is in their blood to destroy.
Why should they? It could have been an accident.
The stone that hit our God was no accident.
The knife that slit the pujari's stomach was no accident. Why did they?
It could have been an accident.
It is in their blood. It is in their blood to destroy.
Why should they? Why would they? It could have been an accident.
No accident. No accident. No accident. The stone that hit our God was no accident. The knife that slit the pujari's stomach was no accident. No accident. No accident.
The stone that hit our God was no accident. The knife that slit the pujari's stomach was no accident.
No accident. Accident.
I grew up in this very drawing room, and my elder brother, who was 10 years senior to me, so he was like another generation, right? He was 10 years senior. So when he was 20, I was only 10 years old. And by the time he was 20, he had this whole drawing room, he was rehearsing Shakespeare. So we used to peep through there, watching these rehearsals, people with swords and spouting Shakespeare, to be or not to be? Oh, that is the question. Huh? Not Bengali style, but good old Bombay style. So I had a very exciting childhood in this very house. So it was exciting times. You can imagine, I was here and I used to see my sisters on this drawing room floor making posters by hand. No, in those days, no printing. You cut a stencil out of aluminium, O-T-H-E-L-L-O, Othello, you painted it, and I would join them, very excited. My sisters would sit here stitching costumes. The whole family, it became like a cottage industry. Theatre in this house, Kulsum Terrace, named after my mother. So when my brother died, and then Alkazi went to Delhi, who was left to take over the theatre group except me? So I took it over and I began to do plays. You'll be very interested to know that my first two plays were in English. My first play on the Bombay stage, the big stage, not college plays, but the Bombay stage was Shakespeare.
Your aching world is open wide. You see an trust. I know that He's my Krishna. He makes my body tingle so, He sets my heart, my soul aglow. My heart is pounding and I know this is my Lord, my Krishna.
Theatre's purpose is to open our eyes, open our minds, and affect our hearts. That is theatre's purpose. And I can't see any other reason why I'm in the theatre. I'm interested in opening first my own mind, in affecting my own heart, in opening my own eyes to see what are the fantastic things that human beings are capable of. And I don't mean just climbing Mount Everest, I mean the passions. Why does Othello murder the thing he loves? Why did Ram obey and go exile himself? These are characters that are bigger than life, and I'm very interested in characters, by the way, who are larger than life. I do plays also about ordinary people, but they have something unique about them, something different. Because otherwise you can just sit in a drawing room and say, my mother and father are the best theatre in the world. Life is a great theatre. I often stand on my mother's balcony here in this house and watch the people on the road. It's great theatre, but it's not focused. It doesn't have a focus. So theatre brings life together with a focus. And you only use those points in life which are, I don't want to say dramatic, because that's an overused word. I want to say that somehow, as I said earlier, open a window in your brain. Open a window in your ability to understand human beings. After all, why are we put in this on this earth? I think, personally, to explore our environment, to explore ourselves, both the inner man and the outer man, the social animal and the internal animal. What does relevant mean? Question has been asked: is the English theatre relevant? I stop and say, excuse me, counter question: is theatre relevant? If good theatre is relevant, then if in the English language you do good theatre, it's relevant. End of story. After all, English is only a medium. If you do a good Hindi play for even an audience of 10 people, or you do a good English play for an audience of 2 people, if it affects them where they live, then it's relevant. If theatre can just open a few windows, not even doors is difficult, because doors you can pass through, windows you can see through. I mean, Gandhiji opened doors. I don't think, frankly, the theatre can open doors. It can just open literally tiny little windows. Even if it can do that, to me, it's relevant. To me, it's the reason that I find theatre a very powerful medium.
Ouch, ouch, oh, that's nice. Time to go. I'll be back later for a slice of ice.
Boy, bend over easy, can't escape me tonight.
Ouch, ouch, just do it to me. Make me beg for more or more. Kick, punch, hurt me, teacher. Hurt me till I'm raw. Ouch, ouch, just do it to me. Yeah. Make me beg for more. Kick, punch, hurt me, teacher. Hurt me till I'm raw. Yeah. Good, very good. That's the way to do it. Then put your heart and soul into it. Throw yourself. What else is
connected to the gadgets?
Yeah.
I'll see you.
On the stage, you've got to be involved in what you're doing. You forget the audience. You forget you're doing it for an audience. The director's job is to see that nothing goes wrong there. So, that's it. Every director has his own method. When I started out in the theatre, and perhaps this is also where I got the nickname of God. I thought I could do everything. I thought I was just a genius. Rubbish. I found out I'm not a genius at all. And in fact, I had a lot to learn. So what I used to do in those days, those bad old days, I used to plot out every move of every actor, even up to how she should pick up a cup of tea, whether her finger should be up or down, all that sort of thing, whether she should arch her eyebrow like this or like that. Our ideas are as good, if not better, than those in any country, the West, any other place, Japan even. But we tend to lack on execution, the detailing. Mies van der Rohe, the very famous architect of the 20s and who had a profound influence on modern architecture, said one line I'll never forget: God is in the details. And I think in India, in every phase, not just in theatre, we tend to say, no, I want the big idea. I'm going to do Hamlet and ghost will enter his body, but how do you do it? Every detail must be right. The lighting must be just right. The way Hamlet falls on the stage, the way the ghost seems to enter his body. Everything must be right. So, in that sense, I'm a great believer as a director in detailing. But first, the concept.
My mother was sensible that way, huh? If anyone contaminated her by touching her, she'd just sprinkle some Ganga Jal and be done with it. All said and done. One has to move with the times. Gajju won't budge. Wag is just the opposite. Wag is my name for my father-in-law. Wag as in tiger. In front of Gajju is like a...
Wag as in tiger. You know, be careful of swallowing those small words. You know, as in is important because we know how the relationship of tiger to Wag.
Right.
Again? My father-in-law.
Wag as in tiger. In front of Gajju is like a big pussycat. And he never bathes. He only makes himself wet with half a bucket of water.
Say, and he never bathes and do this sort of thing?
Oh yeah.
And he never bathes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
These details, you know, will bring up the thing. Come.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wag as in tiger. In front of Gajju is like a big pussycat. And he never bathes. He only makes himself wet with half a bucket of water. And he snores. The first night I heard him snore, I thought there was a tiger only in our courtyard. Thank God, Hari doesn't snore. You must be wondering why I haven't mentioned Hari very much, no? After all, he is my Lord and Master. Well, that's because I think my Lord and Master has the brains of a silly goat. I started by wanting to tell you about all my new friends, and I end up telling you about all these other creatures. Out of all the girls, I like Zareen.
Okay, cut it. And it is only when an actor enjoys his own performance, not I mean indulgently, but when he becomes the character, that the audience suddenly is swept away. They forget that, you know, this is you, Aisha, playing. So they think you are the girl, you are the young girl. And so then they're swept away on the tide of your involvement, of your emotion. So that's the thing to keep.
Disobedience, disobedience, disobedience. Disobedience, disobedience, disobedience. You have no right to treat her so, just let her go, I insist. We have our rights, but you have none, so turn and run or face our fist. It's a question of izzat, or family honor is not. Nothing to you, don't tempt fate, we won't tolerate disobedience, disobedience, disobedience. Family honor is not. Nothing to you, don't tempt fate, we won't tolerate disobedience, disobedience, disobedience. 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 Disobedience, disobedience, disobedience.
Till today, I have not earned any money out of theatre. My actors used to be paid 100 rupees per show, and myself and the director and everyone, from the assistant stage manager right up to the director, 100 rupees a show. Recently, we increased it to 200 rupees a show. So you can imagine, we don't do it for the money. We do it because it develops us from inside. And I think all good art develops the artist first, and if the artist developed during the act of creation, then the audience feels that development. And when they come out of the theatre, they say, it was more than just a play. It was a kind of like, I really felt involved in it. And there are a lot of thoughts I want to think about when I go home. So to me, as I say, I have no worry about what, if the audiences come to see my plays, I'm happy. If the audiences go away not only feeling but thinking, I'm happy. If they go away saying, oh God, I can hardly keep my eyes open, I failed. No matter how brilliant I am, I failed. And if the audiences just go away thinking, oh, it's like a Chinese meal, as I said before, very nice, but in the next 10 minutes, as they go to catch a taxi or they go to stand in a queue for a bus, they've forgotten the play, they're thinking of their khana tonight. But if they go out of that theatre thinking, my God, I never realized life was like this, then I've succeeded. And basically, what about the English theatre? Certainly English newspapers in this country are thought leaders. A lot of the language newspapers take their ideas of how to tackle a subject from the English newspapers, and I think the theatre should be doing this. I agree that when we just do carbon copies of Broadway hits or West End, London hits, I think it's not terribly relevant. It's still amusing, it's still enjoyable, and I think like Mao Tse-tung said, let 1,000 flowers bloom. But for me, it's relevant because it helps me in the language I understand best. As I said, my Hindi or my Hindustani is very tuta-futa. So it helps me to explore myself, it helps me to perhaps explore my very limited audience. As far as imbibing from the West, I imbibe from everything. I imbibe from Kathakali, I imbibe, when I was in a drama school which was run by Mr. Alkazi many years ago, believe you me, I learnt Kathakali. Yes, I can give you the Kathakali squat. Of course, now my bones are a little old and creaky, but I can still do the Kathakali, squat. And so I beg, borrow and steal from everything. I am absolutely shameless when it comes to that. I say whatever excites me, I would want to use. Now, I don't use it as a carbon copy. Please don't understand, like a chap, rubber stamp. No, it goes through me, and depending on what happens inside the psyche, the creative psyche, in that way it comes out. What is the opening line?
Baby, you can be a queen.
Baby, you can be a queen.
Okay.
Huh? You don't have to take out the drama of it. Huh?
Okay.
But what I don't want is the slurring. Forget that. Huh? Without winning any title, I'll put you on the #1 track. Get you on top of the cocktail circuit. Ride them to the moon and back.
You have cars and maids.
No, and what's on? Take out all this names.
Live in a Park Lane flat.
Live in a Park Lane flat.
With my black book
Okay,
of numbers. I know you do wonders.
Yeah.
You soon have the city.
Huh? Be careful what you're going to get out of. He's going to get out, you're going to work on him. Is he imitates an American singer. He doesn't sing, he imitates.
Yeah.
You have to sing. Forget about the imitations. Huh?
Okay.
Imitation may be the sincerest form of flattery, but won't get you anywhere on the real stage. Because people will immediately see you as a phony. It is Baman playing the pimp. Huh? Not Baman playing Elvis Presley playing the pimp. Okay? Come on. Let's go. So my method then moved from dictatorial, I know everything, to collaborative. That means, let me ask my actors what they think. And in fact, I spent long time, about a month, 2 months, just sitting around a table reading the play. Whether it's Final Solutions or Othello, whether it's Death of a Salesman or Streetcar Named Desire, whether it's Tughlaq or Jesus Christ Superstar, whatever it is, I like to now get my actor's point of view. And as I said, Final Solutions came out of an improvisation of my actors. Then Mahesh Dattani wrote down this improvisation of 2 Muslim boys running away from a mob and gradually developed it into an excellent play. When he sent me the first draft, I got my actors again to read it for him. And then again he went away and made some changes. Then we started rehearsals, but the rehearsals were around my mother's horseshoe table, which I've shown you. We all sit around there and we read, then we discussed, then we did improvisations on what happened to each individual character during the riots. And what were their experiences went into the emotional fabric of the play. We didn't change a single word. But otherwise, why do a production? You can always read the play yourself, like literature. So production is when the actors begin to make the playwright's words, instead of lying flat on the page, rise up and talk and walk. And this is the marvel of theatre. And people have asked me, do you know what the end result will be? And I must tell you honestly, at my ripe old age, I do not know what the end result will be when I start a play. It's an exploration. The actors, myself and the playwright's words carry us along. It's like going down a river. You never know what turn in the river and suddenly you will come across a waterfall. You may be thrown over it. It's always an exploration and adventure.
Their chariot fell in our street.
Their God now prostrates before us.
So they blame it on us.
Was the chariot built by us? Blame the builder of those fancy thrones.
A manufacturing defect.
Doesn't their God have a warranty?
They say we destroyed their temples yesterday.
That we broke their chariot today. And tomorrow, what will they say? Why would we?
And I think that's what theatre means. It means, can you take life and charge it with some electricity? What is drama? Drama means dramatic. Otherwise, as I said, we can sit in our drawing rooms and watch our parents or watch our children grow up and say, well, this is the best theatre in the world, and maybe it is. But for me, it's not. For me, it has to have some excitement, something that stands out, something that is highlighted. I like to use the word heightened reality. But the most important direction I'd like to explore is how the theatre can start social change. I think the theatre, my theatre, the theatre I'm involved in, must be a social activist theatre. So to me, the direction that the theatre must go into, for me, is how can we change the society we're living, because we really are living in a very, very handcuffed society. You know, casteism, communalism, arranged marriages, dowry, bonded labor. If I go on, you know, it's endless. So to me, in one line, the theatre of the future is the theatre of exploration of the human condition.